Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Laurel. Today I have a really nice full body release yoga. Quite often our bodies hold a lot of stress and tension. This could be from just what we do in our everyday lives, but it also could be with what's going on emotionally in our lives. We tend to store a lot of the stress and emotions in our muscles, in our tissues. So today is all about releasing and letting go. I'm filming this also at the end of 2020. I'm not sure when you're going to be watching this, but I thought it'd be a nice way to kind of finish off the year with a bit of a release and let go sequence. So I hope that you will enjoy today. We will get into a kneeling position to start our class. So make your way down to your mat and let's get into it. All right, so we're gonna start in a kneeling position. I'll just turn side on. We're gonna start with something called fire toes. Oh yes, it sounds painful and it kind of is. What you wanna do is you wanna come onto your toes and really think about spreading the toes apart so each toe is gripping into the mat. And then we're very gently just going to bring our weight back onto our heels. Now, for some, this might feel excruciating, like it does for me, and for others, it might feel completely normal and fine. It just really depends how your feet are doing. My husband can do this for hours, whereas I can only do this for a few minutes. So what I'm going to get you to do is to start bringing that awareness into the breath. Just notice any feelings, resistance, or tension that's coming up. For me, the fire has been lit in my feet, and we're just going to come into a place of observance. This is a great way to just take care of our feet. They carry us around all day, so just allowing a little more opening and releasing through the fascia in the feet. If this is too much, you can always come forward and just gently press your weight back towards your heels. Let's just stay for a couple more breaths. Drop the shoulders down, lift the spine. Inhale. And exhale. 2 more breaths. Inhale. And exhale. Just notice the sensation that arises down the feet, the legs. 1 more. Inhale. And exhale through the mouth. We'll come into a tabletop position. Now bring the tops of the feet towards the mat and we're just going to lightly tap them out. Whew. Now again, that might have felt completely fine for you, but for me that was quite a lot. If you want to revisit that, feel free to do so for maybe a little bit longer. All right, from here, we're just going to bring those knees wide, coming into a child's pose. Extend the arms out long, forehead comes to the mat. Just coming back to the breath here, tapping into the awareness of the breath. Inhaling to fill the belly. And exhale to release. Perhaps this is a nice opportunity to set a little intention for your class ahead. Like I said, this theme is all about releasing and letting go. The releasing is obviously working into the muscles to release tension. But maybe mentally we can think about some things that we are wanting to let go of, whether you're watching this at the end of the year or perhaps a different time in space. Maybe there are some things that are arising for you and you just want to allow yourself to let them go. They're no longer serving you. All right, next inhale, let's just bring the head up. Bring the hips slightly up. We're going to come into thread the needle. So we're going to bring the right arm to extend all the way to the sky. Really push those fingers reaching for the sky. And on the exhale, the arm swings underneath. I'm going to swap sides actually. Comes underneath, the shoulder comes down to the mat. The cheek comes down to the mat. And then the hips stay high, reaching that top arm all the way overhead. Now you've got your right arm underneath. So see if you can bring your hips over to the right side. Getting into those shoulders, the upper back here. If you need a little more balance, you can tuck the toes just to steady yourself here on the mat. One more breath here, inhale. And exhale. We're going to release, extend that arm all the way to the sky and planting back to the earth. All right, let's swap sides here. So when you're ready, your left arm extends all the way, reaching really high and threading through. Left shoulder comes down to the mat. So does the left cheek. You're going to bring those hips towards the left side and extend that right arm long. Coming back to the breath. Coming back to that intention. One more inhale here. And exhale. Let's come back to our tabletop. All right, from there, we're going to swing the knees to the long edge of the mat and just come up to kneeling. Now I want you to extend the right leg all the way out to the side, and I want you to bring the foot flat to the mat. Okay, so we're not onto the side edge of the foot is flat. All right, the right arm down, sliding down the right leg, left arm extends long, and we're going to just come into a side stretch. This is known as gate pose. Beautiful side body stretch here, so really reach and lengthen as we slide down. Try not to dump the shoulder down, everything lifts and opens towards the sky. And on your exhale, we're going to bring that left arm down and coming into a side stretch to the other side. And let's sweep through and reach. And one more coming through and down and open that chest. All right, we'll just come into a tabletop. We're going to swap sides, extending the opposite leg. Just make those adjustments if you need to. The foot is pressed down to the earth. Hand comes down, sliding down the leg, side stretch. Really reaching and opening the chest and coming through opposite side. Nice fluid motion here, coming through. Deepen that stretch. Can you slide down the leg a little further? And one more. All the way over and reach. Beautiful job. Let's come back up, tabletop to the top of the mat. We're going to come into some hip circles here. So don't worry about what you look like. This can feel a little awkward. So just imagine you're drawing circles with your hips. So the right, bring the hips out towards the right side, leaning forward, and then bring them back to the left and down. So what we're actually doing here is we're not only adding that fluid motion to the hips, we're also just getting a nice little stretch in the wrists as well. So if you feel a little tension or discomfort in the wrist, maybe make the circles smaller. But it's a good way to just rinse out those wrist joints. And when you're ready, we'll just reverse. Again, that conscious breathing. Make sure you're breathing into the belly. Becoming really present with the breath. It allows us to let go of everything off the mat. All that matters is this moment and these hip circles. All right, back to neutral. And what we're going to do here is we're going to reverse our palms. So we want to bring the palms facing up. The fingers are going to point inwards. Now, I like to tuck my toes here because this can feel a little bit uncomfortable on the wrist. We're going to do those circles, but much smaller, very, very small circles. Those toes can just help steady you on. And just reverse. We'll only do 3, so we'll come back the other way for 3 and 2 and 1. Coming back to kneeling. Let's just interlace the fingers, add a little circular motion, and the other way. And then to finish off, just shake out those hands. Whew. All right, we got in there. That's good. All right, coming back to tabletop. We're going to come in through some cat-cows. Let's drop the belly, heart lifts, inhale. And exhale, round through, tuck the tailbone, pushing up through the shoulder blades, dropping the head. Inhale, come through. And exhale, back to cat. Go a couple more cycles. You can go whatever pace works for you right now. Remember, this is all about releasing and letting go, releasing tension in the body. So we're going to be working through hopefully every little part of the body today. We've done our feet and wrists, fingers. This is getting into the spine. All right, when you're ready, guys, come back to neutral, tuck those toes. Let's come back to downward facing dog. So see how you're feeling here. Add a little pedal to the feet. I actually worked out yesterday and I am very tight. Wasn't prepared for this. So just listen to your body, make those adjustments. You don't need to be feeling super flexy right now. Just wherever you're at is perfectly fine. We're gonna make our way through the body and you'll feel amazing afterwards. Just giving myself a pep talk. All right, from here, bring the right foot to come ever so slightly to the center line. And we're going to lift the left leg, bend that knee, bring it in between the hands and drop the back knee. Coming into a low lunge, adjust the ponytail. Now tuck that tailbone and we're gonna just bring those hands to hips and we're just gonna lean forward, getting into those hip flexors here. Dropping the shoulders away from the ears. Finding that balance, gripping through the feet. All right, bring those arms all the way overhead. Take your inhale, reach, and exhale, bring those hips back. Getting into the hamstrings here. Inhale, sweep the hands to the sky, leaning forward. And exhale, come back. Let's go one more here. Inhale, reach. And exhale, come back. Bring that knee back behind. Let's tuck the toes back to downward facing dog. We'll stay for 3 breaths here. I invite you these opportunities where we have a few breaths in each pose. Just coming back to the breath, coming back to your intention, coming back to whatever it was that you are wanting to let go. And just give yourself permission to let it go. Just release from the mind, release from the body. All right, left foot comes towards the center line, lift the right leg, bend the knee, and plant between the hands. Drop the back knee, and come on up, hands to hips. All right, keep the tailbone tucked, leaning forward. Adjusting the posture here, so shoulders peel away from the ears, spine lifts. On your next inhale, sweep the hands, reaching high, and exhale, half split. Inhale, come through. And exhale, half split. And when you're ready, all the way forward. Last one here. And exhale, come back. Plant the hands, bring the foot back behind. Let's come into our downward dog. All right, left leg sweeps to the sky. So you can get a little bit higher, dropping the heel towards the glute, opening up the hip here. Just staying for a breath, bringing that knee back down to meet the opposite knee. And tiger curl, knee to nose, and drop that foot in between the hands. Coming into crescent lunge, so just make those adjustments before we come up. So the back the back heel is off the ground, so it's that high lunge. Inhale, sweep the hands all the way to the sky. So it's like that low lunge, but obviously it's knees lifted now. We're going to come into a variation of pyramid. So with that back heel off the ground, we're going to start to straighten that front leg and hands come down to the earth. If you have blocks, feel free to use those blocks for extra assistance. Feeling that stretch in the back of the leg. See if you can reach the nose down towards the mat on each exhale. Stay for one more breath. Inhale. Stay for the exhale. Bend that front leg. Coming back to our crescent lunge just for a moment. Keeping that tailbone tucked, so not really arching through the lower back. Everything's tucked. Spine lifts. Coming back to the breath. Next exhale, coming back to your pyramid. If you need to walk the back foot in one step, feel free. We're going to come into what's called revolved pyramid. So the left foot is forward, the right hand plants beside the left foot, and we're going to twist. Now this is a really deep twist. I'm going to get a block here. That little bit of elevation can really help. If you don't have a block, you can use a book. We're trying to twist open to the other side. Staying on the back toes, that back heel is lifted. Notice any resistance, just let it come and go. Stay with me here, one more breath, reaching that arm nice and high. Staying for the exhale. Hand comes back to meet the left foot. And plant the hands, we're gonna come back to downward dog. Beautiful job. Staying for a breath, we're gonna move through to the opposite side. All right, when you're ready, that right leg sweeps to the sky. Drop the heel to meet the glute, opening up through the hip. That knee points towards the sky. Heel meeting the booty. All right, coming back through, knee sweeps through, tiger curl, knee to nose, stay for a breath, and plant that foot in between the hands. I'm gonna move my block. I should have wrapped my ponytail up here. All right, we're gonna come back to that crescent lunge, find your balance. Ooh, feel that stretch in the hip flexors, reaching the arms high, shoulders, find that balance. Shoulders drop away from the ears. Letting that tension, that stress slip away from the body, especially in the hip region here as well. When we're tucking that tailbone, we're lengthening through the hip flexors. And when you're ready, coming back into that pyramid, straight the front leg. If you want your blocks, feel free to grab your blocks right now. Keeping the hips square, we're not swinging those hips to the right side. Everything's facing forward to the front edge of the mat. Coming back to that breath. Nothing else matters in this moment, except for the beautiful work you're doing for your body and mind right now. Inhale back to crescent. Stay for a breath. Inhale, reach. Exhale, come through, back to pyramid. You may want to bring that foot one step closer, using a block if you wish, and revolve. So we twist open, keeping those legs straight. You'll feel a deep stretch coming through the IT band on the outside edge of the leg. Come back to the breath. A little bend in the micro bend in the front knee if you feel like you have some hyperextension going on. And coming back through to our crescent lunge. And hands plant back to downward dog. Beautiful job, everyone. Drop the knees, big toes to touch. Coming down to child's pose. Finding a rhythm of breath that works to blend with the movements here. So if you're finding you're breathing really heavily, I suggest you take more rest through the class, or just take your time to slow down. Make sure you're breathing too. All right, when you're ready, bring the head up. We're going to come back to tabletop. Tuck the toes. We'll come back to downward dog for our transition. So hips come high. Add a little pedal here. All right, when you're ready, bring the right leg towards the center line. The left leg rises, bending the knee, coming to plant through, opening up to warrior 2. So warrior two, our hips are open towards the side, reaching the arms out long, adjusting the ponytail. Ponytail isn't the best hair do for yoga, being honest, unless you've got short hair. All right, from here, let's just flip the palm, reach forward, coming to reverse, so that left arm sweeps overhead, the right arm is behind the back. Back to warrior 2. We're going to bring the left toes towards the long edge of the mat, squaring off to the long edge. So we're now standing, our wide leg standing position, getting ready for our forward fold. Peel those shoulders away, lift the spine, take an inhale, and exhale, fold forward. So yogi's choice here, you can either bring your hands down to the mat, you can leave your hands on your hips, whatever you choose. I ask you to just bring those toes ever so slightly in and the heels coming out. We can really get into the side of the legs here. Another great way to deepen the stretch is the hands come underneath, so you can really pull yourself forward. All right, we won't stay for too long. Stay for 2 more breaths. Take your inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. We're going to come into a halfway lift, and from here bring those hands to the mat if you haven't got them there already, and we're going to bend through the right knee and bring our weight down towards the mat. Sit bones down to the mat. Now if this is too much, you can also be high. You might want to just sort of lean your arm on your knee. It's called Skandasana. So side lunge. And when you're ready, we're just going to crawl through to the other side. Really getting into the inner thighs here. Let's move through. Coming through. And last one. Going all the way through. Now let's bring those left toes to face the front of the mat. The right toes step forward into our standing forward fold. Grabbing opposite arms, opposite elbows, coming into our ragdoll. Halfway lift. Fold forward a little further. Those hands come down to the mat. And coming all the way up, vertebrae by vertebrae. Peel the shoulders away back to mountain pose. Inhale, sweep the hands to the sky. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, stepping back to your plank. Take chaturanga, or you can just come straight back to downward dog or child's pose. Whatever you need, my friend, this is your class. 3 breaths for our last downward dog today. Coming into 2, inhale. And exhale. 1 more, inhale. And exhale. Bring that left leg high, bend through the knee. Coming forward into our pigeon. So we're going to bring that leg across the body. So the left foot comes out towards the right side of the mat. Hips nice and square. Bring the torso long and lifted, shoulders peel back. Now this might be, if you haven't done pigeon before, this could be a little bit uncomfortable. So maybe this is where you stay, and that's totally fine. If you want to come all the way down, I invite you to come down on the exhale, bringing the body down. You can create a little pillow with the arms. Maybe you've got a block, or if you're feeling extra bendy and flexy today, all the way down to the earth. Coming back to the breath. Noticing if you're holding any extra tension in places where you really don't need to.
Just allowing yourself to release and let go of that tension in the body that doesn't serve you. And back to that first thought in class of what we're choosing to release and let go of in our lives. Giving yourself permission to let it go and doing what's best for you and your future self. One more breath. Inhale. And exhale through the mouth. Very gently make your way back up.
Oh, hello. It's a good one. Let's come back to just a plank and we will swap sides. So bringing that right leg across the mat, bringing the body down, sit bones down, resetting with that inhale, and on your exhale making your way back down to the earth.
Five deep breaths here. Really feeling that expansion in the belly, the rib cage, and the chest. And on that release, the rib cage draws in, the belly draws in last. One more breath. Inhale. And exhale through the mouth.
Let's make our way back up. And let's come over to the right side. Just bring those legs out in front. Just bring those feet together. We're going to shift the hips forward and come down to a supine position. Extend the left leg. We're going to bring the right knee across the body, coming into that supine twist. So you want both shoulders planted down to the earth, even if that means that the knee won't come down. It just allows us to really twist out the spine, rinse the spine a little more. And come back to center. Let's swap sides, extend the right leg, left knee comes across. Maybe get a couple of clicks and cracks in the spine. Coming back to the breath. Coming back to that breath allows us to really tap into this very moment. Bringing that present awareness to your mind and body right now. All right, back to center. We're gonna hug those knees into the chest, so bring everything up, give yourself a really big squeeze. Point the toes. And let's extend down to Shavasana. Make any adjustments or any final postures. In this Shavasana, I invite you to go over the mantra in your mind. I choose to release and let go of what no longer serves me. I choose to release and let go of what no longer serves me. I choose to release and let go of what no longer serves me. If you'd like to stay in Shavasana for longer, please do so and just stop the video now. Otherwise, if you're ready to close out your practice with me, let's just start creating a little movement with the fingers and toes. We'll extend those arms out long. Whatever movement you need, a little wrist circle, a little circle at the feet. And we'll come over to the right side of the body. And push your way up to a cross-leg position. Feel free to keep the eyes closed. We'll inhale, sweep the hands all the way to the sky. Palms come together, drawing down to heart center. Bowing your chin towards your heart and taking a moment to acknowledge your beautiful work today. And also the beautiful work of letting yourself release and let go of the things that you know aren't working for you or serving you right now. That takes a lot of courage and bravery. Again, thank you so much for your beautiful work. I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Namaste.